Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Pro Lok number EWP-122-S. This is a stainless steel wraparound plate is what it is. Very simple sort of item that you see in lots of applications. I'm going to remove it from the packaging here so we can take a closer look at what it is. Door reinforcing plates are used generally to mitigate damage to an item, to a door, not really an item, and do so in such a way that's reasonably presentable. Very occasionally people will purchase these for new installation when they know that there's going to be vandalism. Landlords will immediately put these on their doors because they know they're going to end up putting them on to begin with, or eventually, I should say. So where would you use this? You have a door, and for whatever reason, you want to put this on, or you need to put it on. It could be a break-in, could be damage, could be you're covering up some holes that don't belong there, could be that the door is split or cracked or compromised. It could be that you are going to install this rather than replace the door. For the obvious reason, this is probably within the realm of a weekend warrior handyman sort of project. I firmly believe that it is. Whereas replacing an entire door is a different aspect. Usually, you could have a door that's not so readily replaceable. You know, I always think about the client who has a stile and rail door from the 1920s, and yeah, no, those just aren't laying around. So rather than try to replace the door with something that looks just like it, which would be an exceptionally high cost, like a 5 horizontal panel stile and rail door, client will very often say, you know what, I'll take that $20 solution, and while it's not what I want, I'll accept it. So that's where you'll see these. And then again, I've had customers order 20 at a time, 60 at a time, because they're doing a new lock installation. They know that they're going to need those eventually. They put them on to begin with, and it saves the trouble. Or they're putting on a lock, and they have to rework some holes a little bit. And, you know, I'm thinking of a dual lock or a double lock, maybe an interconnected lock, where it's longer, 9-inch tall, that sort of situation, and it will cover the additional function holes necessary. There is a caveat on using these, though. They're almost always certainly used in exterior doors, but not always. If you are dealing with a fire-rated door, be mindful. There is no UL listing on this. This is not permissible for use on a fire door, and while we're not the fire door code police, it is our obligation, you know, our responsibility to let you know. Technically, this is not permissible for use on a fire-rated door at all. Any fire rating, this can't be used on it. So be mindful of that. Now let's move forward with the dimensional properties of this EWP-122S. They have it at, I'm going to say 4-inch tall. Wrong, 4.5-inch tall. 4-inch wide. A little shy on that, but nonetheless. They have a 2 1/8-inch hole at 2 3/8 back set, indeed, for a door that's 1 3/4 thick. There you go. Okay. This is made of stainless steel. That's what the S stands for in the part number. Fasteners are included. There'll be a total of 6. There'll be these four longer screws, and then these 2 shorter screws. And the 2 shorter screws are to permit you to hold that latch bolt with that insert nut to the hardware itself. If your door is damaged to the point where there's literally nothing to attach the latch bolt to, that's okay. Attach it right to this plate with those screws, and then the reinforcing plate and the latch bolt will go to the door all at once. The 4 long screws are, of course, for installation. Here and here, here and here. And let's talk about installing this. When you go about installing these, and I have, they can be a hassle, meaning like, you know, oh, this is a 10-minute job, maybe. If the margin between the edge of the door and the jamb is ample to accept this, then there would certainly be no problem with that at all, really. But in general, it's not the case. This material, with the peel-away protective layer here, measures .032. So it's probably, I don't know what gauge that is, 20 some gauge, but it's a 32nd of an inch thick. So be mindful, it's not insignificant. It's half of a 16th of an inch. It's a 32nd. And if your margin's a 16th of an inch, this is going to cause that door to rub a bit. So when you get to the point of installing this, what I always do is I will get the lock off, I'll clean the door up, I'll remove any material that's clearly a problem, I'll mitigate the damage as best as I can by attempting some type of a repair on the door. Whatever it takes to make that as strong as possible. I'll dry fit this onto the door, I'll cycle the door and see how it works, and if it's tight, I'll mitigate. I might mortise the edge of that door to get this plate to sit down flat and flush. That might relieve that. This is really not going to have the same sort of bevel that a beveled edge door is going to, so you might need to mitigate that as well. One thing that I've done in the past is I've suggested that someone get that door and get a couple of pony clamps with a wood block and then a wood block on the other side. Think of a pipe clamp. If you were to look up Pony, P-O-N-Y, a company who made clamps for several decades, from Chicago. They're relatively recently out of business, which is a shame because their name was literally synonymous with this type of clamp. It's a pony clamp. You could use a pony clamp or a bar clamp or a pipe clamp and get that plate really tight down to where you want it. Get it, make sure it fits nice, exactly how you want it. You can pre-drill those holes, run those screws in, and draw that tight down to the hole, down to the door. These little semicircles at 9 and 3, that's typical for lock sets, knob locks. Generally, lever locks can have them as well. Little prongs are going to, bite into the face of a wood door, or a metal clad door, or a steel door will always have these preparations because of that. Why they're at 12 and 6, I don't know. There may be a lock type that has those. I don't really know. I'm not familiar with these half-circle relief preparations for the anti-rotation tangs of a lock being at 12 and 6. You could certainly install it at 12 and 6 usually, but you'll see those little tangs at 9 and 3. So that's why those are there. If you try to install that lock without that sort of relief preparation, you'll find you won't get the lock all the way down, even if it's a very thin gauge metal clad door. So making sure you get this installed down as tight as possible is going to give you an application that you will have a better chance of the door working really well, because it's a foreign object that you're installing onto a door. The door wasn't made to compensate for this material being added, but nonetheless, it's a Plan B sort of option. Let's switch to the screen view where we can take a look at the supporting documentation for this item. Okay, so here we go with the item that we are looking at. Here it is. Technical drawing is here. Extended description is here. We've already gone over the size and the base material. I think we did. It's stainless steel in a brushed finish. It's actually made of stainless steel. The fasteners are not, however. Oh, actually they are. I just put my magnet on them, and they're made of stainless as well. So that's a good thing. Now, this technical drawing, that's going to show you every possible dimension, I think, pretty much on this. The only thing that's really new here, and even though it's not directly called out, this will accommodate a latch bolt that is 2 1/4 tall and 1 1/8 wide. So that'll take actually, will it? Yeah, 1 1/8 wide. So that will take a commercial latch bolt. That would make sense given the fact that it is a back set of 2 3/4. However, with a 2 3/8, it's a bit less common to see an 1 1/8 wide preparation on the edge. I would have bet that for a 2 3/8 back set, you would have a 1 inch wide preparation. So be mindful. This is 1 1/8. They do make, there is available in the world an adapter that's used to go behind your 1 inch wide faceplate. And I looked up that part number. It's A501-878. It's a plastic adapter that will allow you to convert from a 1-inch wide prep to an 1.125 wide prep. So you could add that little, it's just a piece of plastic really, and you may not even care. It's likely that you won't, but if you did, that would be the part that I would suggest you order. Okay. So back to the item that we are working on, to the manufacturer's page here. From here we can pull up the full product catalog for their entry armor material, which is here. Now that catalog is pretty handy because it's going to allow you to review all of the door reinforcing wraparound plates from Pro Lok. There's a variety of options here because they're meant for different lock applications and different configurations of lock sets on doors. You might just want one that's blank because you want to cover up some damage. Or you want one that's blank because you're going to do a custom lock prep yourself. Great, there it is. Mortise locks, edge only, lock and deadbolt combinations with different center to centers and different back sets, etc. Now this is the EWP-122, and we can search that part number. And there it is, EWP-122. And that shows us that it's available in antique brass, polished brass, and stainless. Okay. EWP 122, that's 2 3/8, 4 by 4.5. 4 wide, 4.5 tall. Okay. As you continue to scroll through the catalog, you're going to find latch guards. Pro Lok in their entry armor has wraparound plates and latch protectors. A pretty nice offering of this material. Security strikes. Very often we'll go with someone who's preemptively adding a door reinforcing plate to their installation. A variety of miscellaneous filler plates and door accessories, along with special application lock sets as well. Sliding door locks of different varieties. Window locks as well are here. Now back to the manufacturer's page, you can view also all of the Pro Lok items that we sell. And then their full product catalog is here. Now that's going to include the entry armor section, but it will also include, of course, the core Pro Lok line, which is really tools related for the locksmithing trade. So locksmiths are obviously going out there and mitigating your damage on doors. So door reinforcing plates play very well into Pro Lok's customer base, who are locksmiths. This blue punch is by far the most common item that Pro Lok is known for. So if you know their name at all, Pro Lok, you probably do because of their blue punch. That is a way to originate keys by code and a variety of common keying systems, Schlage, quickset, small format, etc., etc. And they're all listed here. Okay. They have this door lock hole preparation tool that's here. I'm not currently familiar with it, but in the very near future I'll be posting a video on my review of this. In a world where people are discontinuing this material, Pro Lok still has one. So I guess you might get it while you can. The common name in this used to be Westlock. Quickset Westlock is long discontinued. Quickset has just recently discontinued theirs. A very high caliber quality one was by a company called Classic Engineering. They've discontinued theirs. Best Lock had a unit that I have never seen, but only in catalogs, and it appeared to be of exceptional durability and quality. They have discontinued theirs and are now shipping Pro Lok as the best version of that. Variety of other locksmithing tools. Locksmith installation aids, and then you will get to their tools after we get through the entry armor section of the catalog. Automotive, locksmithing tools, a variety of material. Let's wrap up this video on camera. I'm certainly a fan of Pro Lok. I don't use their door reinforcing plates often, and it's only because the name Pro Lok I don't believe is synonymous with door reinforcing plates like Mag Security was once upon a time. They were a company that was in business mid-century, probably the late 1950s would be my guess. And the gentleman who started that business and ran it for decades passed away. His son, from what I understand, his skill set is in another area. He did not go into manufacturing. He went into a different line of work. And when his father passed away, did not want that sort of career. Already had a career, has a career, I understand. So liquidated all of it off, and that was a bit of a loss to the industry because that name was so synonymous with material. You know, I need one of the mag plates. You know, what do you mean mag plate? Well, it's synonymous. It's like saying Pro Lok and the Blue Punch. They're almost synonymous, I suppose. So there is on that manufacturer's page, however, speaking of mag, and I was going to say Don Joe, a name to me more synonymous with them just because of the association with how many years they've been making them. There's a cross-reference chart. I would suggest that if you have a mag part number or a Don Joe part number, take a look at the Pro Lok. Nice quality item, exceptional quality people. I have communicated with the factory on servicing my Blue Punch, ordering replacement parts. I've had springs break on it. The tool is 20 years old and the springs have broken a couple of times. We're talking tens of thousands of key cuts, I imagine. And have relatively recently sent it back for a full tear down and servicing, repair and rebuild, and the machine came back operating like new. Very pleasant people to deal with, very predictable, prompt, reliable, things of that nature. So why wouldn't you use their hardware? There you go. This is the EWP-122S. Stainless steel door reinforcing plate. If you have any questions on this Pro Lok item or any other Pro Lok product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.